Teslas are being torched across the country. Dealerships shot up and set on fire. Spray paint to vandalize and make a statement. People are protesting Elon Musk's role within President Trump's White House, leading the Department of Government Efficiency's cuts to federal spending.
Musk tells Fox News he believes it's all a conspiracy funded by his political enemies.
Some say they should be labeled domestic terrorists.
I will do that. I'll do it. I'm going to stop them. Everything's computer. Everything's computer. I love Tesla.
Have you ever wanted a pickup truck that looks like a one-night stand between a slice of cheese and a stainless steel fridge? Have you ever wanted a car that will slice the fingers off your only child if they shut the door too hard?
Just do my fingers.
Surely this will stop.
Oh!
Have you ever wanted a vehicle that will blow up your house if the garage were to flood? Well, then head on down to your local Tesla dealer where you'll get all that, plus your neighbors will think you're a fascist. They've got Teslas for every occasion. They've got Teslas that have been pre-vandalized and firebombed, so you don't even have to worry about that happening to you once you drive off the lot. And remember, all these cars have been personally endorsed by the president himself. So don't wait, head on down before the vandals take out the rest of the dealership and get yourself a sweet deal because nobody wants to buy these cars anymore. You know who makes me angry? Elon Musk. Do you know how hard it is to not only be the richest man in history, to have essentially bought the presidency for yourself for like $300 million, and yet still look to be one of the most miserable human beings I've ever seen in my life? He's ruining my billionaire fantasy. You know what I mean? I want to be the richest man ever. That sounds like fun. It sounds fun. I want to name my kid a combination of weird letters and hieroglyphs, and for it to be quirky and not psychotic. But that only works if you're a billionaire. But I don't want it now, because apparently once you get that money, you turn into a socially awkward loser who wants to destroy democracy. And Elon is shocked. He's on Fox News. He's saying he doesn't understand why people in America, why people in Europe hate him so much and want to see Tesla fail. I mean, all he's done is Sig Heil his way into DC to illegally eliminate tens of thousands of federal employees, including nuclear scientists, cut funding for cancer research, reduce access to Social Security for seniors, go after judges who are just trying to do their jobs, and much, much more. And that's after founding two companies funded by $38 billion in taxpayer money, by the way, that he's now weaponizing the government against the same taxpayers who funded his fortune. And he doesn't get it. He's saying, sure, my company makes electric cars, the main target market of which is liberals and Europeans, but now that I've declared my support for a Fourth Reich, all of a sudden the wine moms and Frenchies don't want to buy my cars anymore. Sales are down 11% in the United States, down 76% in Germany, down 63% in France. It turns out people either don't want a Hitlermobile, or at a bare minimum, they don't want a car that's going to be vandalized by other people who think you're driving a Hitlermobile. Down 76% in Germany because, shockingly, doing a Zoom call with a far-right German political party doesn't necessarily play well in a country that quite clearly remembers the boundless joys of fascism. And yeah, over the last few months, Tesla stock has plunged 50% to below where it was pre-election, wiping off $100 billion from Elon Musk's net worth. Top Tesla insiders are dumping their stock, including Musk's own brother. The vice presidential candidate who lost the election is doing a full stand-up routine dedicated to highlighting this man's L's. I mean, that is generational hating.
Saying on my phone, I don't know, some of you know this on the iPhone, they've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to it to give me a little boost during the day.
And look, obviously I do not support vandalizing car dealerships or keying people's Teslas. I mean, for one, all those dealerships are insured anyway, and now you're just giving the wannabe dictators who run this government something to go after. I mean, these people love throwing around the word terrorism more than Elon Musk likes impregnating the women who work for him. Oh yeah, and one more thing, this has nothing to do with cars, but just indulge me. This man has 14 children with 4 women, all of whom were conceived via IVF, which according to his estranged daughter, is because he wants to assure that the children he has are male. So yeah, a socially awkward loser, who's a freak, who hates women, and who plays video games all day. I mean, congrats bro, the only thing you gotta do now is set up the podcast equipment. And number 2, destroying Cybertrucks denies the owner of that car the worst punishment imaginable. being forced to drive a Cybertruck. Let me tell you something. You will never see a Cybertruck out and about with more than one person in the car. It's not only the dumbest vehicle you can buy, it's also the saddest. Because hey, while Elon is a weirdo, he's a weirdo with so much money, he can basically get away with anything. That's not the case for you, Cybertruck owner. You're not a rich weirdo, you're just a weirdo. A weirdo driving the ugliest truck I've ever seen in my life that literally rusts every time it rains. Right before I sat down to record this, Tesla recalled every single Cybertruck in America because apparently body panels can just fly off the car at highway speeds, killing the family of four in the Toyota Sienna behind you. Tesla had more recalls in the last year than every other car company. And for what? $1,000 a month to let everyone in the neighborhood know that you're still afraid to talk to girls. Whatever works, bro. But look, I remember when Tesla used to make some cool stuff, before Club Penguin went offline, and before Elon Musk turned into Adolf Musk. You see, way back in the day, like 2012-ish, Tesla was just starting to take off. After the success of their first car, the Roadster, they put out the Model S, which was a massive success that put the company on track for a decade of crazy growth, both in terms of stock price and in terms of sales. And the Elon Musk glaze at this point was out of control. People thought he was Tony Stark. They literally put him in Iron Man because we thought he was Tony Stark. He was a benevolent billionaire, coming to save us all with his rockets, his electric cars, and his tweets calling a British diver who saved children a which, yeah, in hindsight, there was probably a couple signs coming that this guy was not as benevolent as we thought he was, despite the late night show glazing. Even before his entrance into politics, Elon was a showman through and through. The tech media and media at large just ate him up. Every Tesla event was just Elon showing off wacky shit that was not ready for prime time, or even better, just a bunch of lies. The Tesla Roadster 2 was unveiled in 2017, still not in production. The Tesla Semi unveiled in 2017, still not in production. The Tesla Cybercab, the Robovan, these weird humanoid robots, which are literally just a larger version of those Poochie robot dogs we had as kids. Even the production version of the Cybertruck is uglier than the version that was first unveiled. Like, literally, the version we have is somehow uglier than the original design. But hey, at least you can buy that one, so whatever. It doesn't matter that half of this stuff will never see the light of day. That's not the point. The point is to keep the public and investors thinking Elon Musk is some maestro who always has something up his sleeve that's going to revolutionize the world. Let the stock drop another 10% and Elon will be up on stage with a Tesla branded vibrator that he claims gives 30 orgasms a minute and a new scented candle called Elon's Musk, which he made by distilling his pasty dick sweat. Elon's Musk, going straight for the genitalia candle market, first pioneered by Gwyneth Paltrow. And let me tell you, there will be buyers. There will be people on Twitter proudly showing off their reservations, their deposits for the Tesla vibrator, which will come out in 2047. And if you deviate from the narrative, if you step out of line, Tesla will come down on you harder than Elon came down on veterans' healthcare. They went after a black employee who alleged racial discrimination in the workplace. They blamed the dead victims of accidents in which Tesla's autopilot was involved. They got into spats with government agencies investigating the company. Tesla came under fire for underreporting workplace injuries. Elon got into arguments with reporters and directly attacked the media for negative coverage of the company. And that was just in the year 2018 alone. Racism, deflection, hatred of regulation, hatred of the press. Hindsight being 2020, there were signs that Elon was going down the rabbit hole. But you know what? Nobody cared when cars were actually coming off the assembly line. Because at the end of the day, besides this affront to God known as the Cybertruck, these other cars were actually pretty good. Were there build quality issues? Yes. Was the self-driving stuff mostly bull that would murder you if you actually tried to use it? Yes. But as far as electric cars go, at the time, they were basically the only game in town. I mean, you could get the Nissan Leaf, which has like 100 miles of range and looks like it's begging you to put it down. There was a bunch of hybrids, but you can't bring a Prius home to your wife. She already thinks you're a loser. You gotta go down to Tesla and get a Model S. It has a giant iPad screen on the center dash, which you can use to browse the World Wide Web. And then they came out with the Model 3, which for all of its broken promises, was still the most affordable electric car on the market for a little bit. And that's the one that a lot of people went out and bought. And now all those people are having to go out and buy anti-Elon bumper stickers to put on their Model 3s, stickers that basically mean, I'm not a Nazi, please don't key my car in this Denny's parking lot. Okay, but here's the truth of the matter. As much as I could sit here and make fun of the issues with Teslas, the build quality, the stupidity of the Cybertruck, the labor allegations, etc., ultimately, it was working. Even after losing half of its value in the last few months, Tesla is still worth more on paper than like every other car company combined. Because the value of Tesla is not the cars, it's an Elon. It's the idea that this singular snake oil salesman will continue to put out products that turn to gold, and is the genius who is destined to lead us into the future. And every year, he'll come out with some new prototype that will make you forget all about last year's prototype and how it was quietly swept under the rug, and the trillion-dollar hype machine continues to turn. And all Elon had to do for that gravy train to go on forever was not become the most divisive person in the world. And that would not have been a hard thing for him to accomplish. Like anyone who uses Twitter would know that place has turned into a literal clan meeting since Elon took over, but even that hasn't really penetrated into American life. It didn't really penetrate that deeply into the European conscience either, because they're too busy smoking cigarettes on their 4-hour lunch break to read Twitter. No, what needed to happen to take away the magic from Tesla is exactly what happened, which is Elon Musk taking a ketamine-fueled Sig Heil chainsaw to critical parts of the US government. Nobody looked down at their ballot in November and filled in a circle for Elon Musk. And now he's the unelected face of an attack on American institutions and on democracy in Europe. It's really easiest to think of Tesla as the biggest influencer brand in the world. The vast majority of its perceived value is because it's Elon Musk's company. And so even with the plummeting value, the plummeting sales, you can't get rid of him. Tesla without Elon is like selling Sunset without Christine. It just doesn't work. If Tesla shareholders were to kick out Elon Musk, then it would just be another car company, which is worth probably less than 10% of what it is now. But every day that goes on with Elon Musk as both CEO of Tesla and co-president of the United States is another negative headline for Musk and another swastika Cybertruck for Tesla. So there's only one way out for Tesla, and that's what we're seeing now: the grift. It worked for Trump time and time again. He's proven he's the influencer final boss in that he can sell literally anything to his audience. Trump NFTs, Trump coin, Trump sneakers, Trump gold, Trump Bibles. He's an OG merch guy, and you just have to respect it. And so a few weeks ago, he did his buddy Elon a solid and did a literal sponsored ad read on the White House lawn.
Number one, it's a great product, as good as it gets.
A Tesla commercial at the White House. So improper, so unethical, so hilarious.
Don't waste your time going to those other Tesla dealerships with riots and flaming Cybertrucks. You gotta come down to White House Tesla Auto Mall.
I love Tesla.
The President of the United States now says that not buying a Tesla is illegal. You must go purchase a Tesla, or the FBI is gonna show up to your house, throw a black bag over your head, and throw you in the back of a van. Granted though, being tied up in the back of a government van is still a better experience than riding in a Tesla Cybertruck. But look, this is what we're gonna have to wait and see on. Will this work? Will Randall from West Tennessee, a proud Trump voter, turn in his 100,000-mile Ford F-150, which he's been driving for the last 6 years, to go pick up a Tesla Cybertruck, which literally had to be recalled because the accelerator pedal was getting stuck to the floor? Will the MAGA faithful, who open carry at Chuck E. Cheese and who think it's gay to wear a jacket when it's cold outside, all of a sudden start driving electric cars? Listen, I'm willing to be surprised. I'm opening my mind to the idea of seeing electric cars with Confederate flag license plate frames. Because here's a theory that could make sense. Has this all been part of the plan from the beginning? Did Elon Musk see the rising tides of fascism, of anti-intellectualism, and say, you know what, I need to go undercover. The planet needs me. I can go in there, convince all these conservatives that they need to start driving electric cars because that's not woke anymore. He's saying, look, if all of us woke losers take public transit and all the MAGAs drive an electric car, then maybe the planet has a chance. It's a fun theory, but I've got a simpler one, which is that Elon Musk is a little bitch. He's the richest man in the world who grew up draped in the privilege of apartheid South Africa, the son of a literal Zambian emerald mine owner, and still he's unhappy. Because for some people, it isn't enough to win, you gotta have it all. He doesn't want to just be rich, he wants you to be poor. He wants power, he wants to be the king of the world, he wants to be loved and adored, with his line of male heirs left behind to inherit the wasteland that he secured for them. And you know what? I love that for him. I love that he went down this path. I love that Mark Zuckerberg is on Joe Rogan with his broccoli haircut and Temu chain, because finally the myth of the benevolent billionaire has finally been dispelled. These people don't care about you, they want you to die. Well, first they want to take your money, and then they want you to die. But I don't care how much Tesla lowers their prices, or how many QVC infomercials they film at the White House. I would rather longboard on the 405 than drive one of these cars. And so while the planet burns and democracy crumbles, I will sit here with a scornful smirk, watching Elon Musk's net worth drop from being the richest man in history to just the richest man in the world.